Alright, hey guys, Simon here. We haven't had a Minecraft video for a little while. I was hoping to do the next video on the new computer, but it's still getting fixed. So if you haven't been following on what's going on with my life, well, not really my life, but I bought a new computer. This one is a bit older, it's about 4 years old by now. So I bought a new computer, but it came with a faulty graphics chip. So I had to send it back for repairs to get it kind of replaced, get the motherboard replaced. It's a laptop, so the graphics is on the motherboard as well. So but it's been like 3 weeks, and they still haven't done it yet. I don't know what they're doing, but they haven't finished and they haven't sent the computer back. That's for sure. So that's kind of disappointing. Lenovo not very good with their warranties and repairs. I don't even know. But yeah, so for now, I guess we're gonna have to use the old computer to record this video. And I don't know if you can tell what's going on here, but I'm almost done with the green glass. I'm also almost done with the lower petals of the desert rose, the massive glass thing that I'm building here in the desert, the new desert part of my Minecraft world. It's been a while since, it has been a while since my last video. So, I made a lot of videos showing you how I designed this thing with the dirt and the lines and the circles and everything else. So the lines are still down there, right? So you can still kind of see them. And we just finish this off. So I haven't shown you any of the glass building stuff because that's kind of a... Anyway, I just let the chunks load. So it's not been that interesting, really, the glass stuff, because it's basically the same as the dirt stuff which I had before, but in glass. So I built one of these petals in dirt to test it out, and now it's replaced in glass. It's actually this one that was dirt, and also the other two is also built in glass now, and that's basically it. I mean, obviously the final product is quite impressive. Let me just kind of look at this for a while. Yeah, that's the shape. But I've been looking at this for several weeks, so it's not that impressive to me. I don't know if you guys think it's impressive. I hope it is. I mean, I spent a lot of time on it. I mean, it's pretty good. It is pretty good. But after you spend like 2 months designing and then building the thing, maybe it's not as impressive for me. So it looks pretty good from up there. So there's 3 petals. I mean, when you look at it here, they seem pretty close together, actually. They seem to enclose the central bit quite well, although the central bit's just dirt for now. It's not done yet. Oh, this central bit, I think I'm gonna take the dirt out eventually and replace it with sandstone, and then maybe widen it a little bit at the top and then turn it into some sandstone paths. I think it'll be like glass, colored glass, and then sandstone pathways. I haven't quite decided how to do the paths yet. I think there'll be a path like at the center of each of these lower petals. Probably not down here, probably it'll be up here. And then, not quite... well, I mean, there'll be sandstone following the glass, but then the path will kind of start lifting up into the air and then curving down to that bit maybe. So that, it kind of forks into 2 kind of lines. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. Just because this is too steep for a staircase. I know that. This is way too steep for any reasonable staircase in Minecraft. So, we can't actually have the path just follow this shape because, it's too steep. So the actual footpath would have to be shallower up there. So that's what I mean. That's why I was saying I have to kind of make it float away from the petals here. Anyway, I'll stop shaking the screen around and I'll stop kind of pointing out to that. Other than that, haven't quite figured out this. So the idea was to have, so there's going to be like red, so there's the green petals down here, and then there'll be red petals up there, and then some sort of circulation going up to the top. I actually, I don't know if I said this, but I don't think I have enough room. Like you see this is actually very close together, and a path is at least 4 blocks wide, 2 blocks for walking, and then 2 blocks of, I don't know, railings or edges or whatever. So that's 1 block there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like the path is like that wide, and it's circular and it's kind of curved, and it's... yeah, I don't think it's actually big enough. like if I have a symmetrical, yeah, I don't know, I'll figure it out later. But for now, this is what I'm worried about. So it actually looks pretty good. I remember earlier on I was kind of afraid that this is kind of too tight, like it kind of closes in too much. But now that the circle is complete, I don't have a problem with it at all. It looks quite good when the circle's complete. Also, it kind of makes you look up, because down here it's just kind of green and green and green, and then you look up, and then there's this kind of interesting circle. So the opening is above you. So you look up, like you want to, because there's nothing kind of special down here, so you kind of look towards the opening. And as you kind of look toward the opening, there's the green and then the blue and then imagine the red as well. So it's kind of these patches of colors in these curving shapes on the screen. So I think it's going to look pretty good. Kind of this like this kind of abstract art. There's like kind of one patch of green down there, and then like a patch of blue here, and then there's like a patch of red to the right here. Imagine that, and then like kind of yellow lines. It's going to be pretty awesome, I think. I think it's going to turn out quite good. Like kind of geometric shapes and whatnot. So down here, the dirt lines are still here, so that's been very helpful in guiding the construction. So there's kind of looks like a butt, doesn't it? Well, it's yeah. Okay. I'm always kind of slightly worried that this thing will turn out looking like a penis, because there's kind of these kind of curving things down here, and then there's like a central tower. So let's just kind of quietly hope that we're not going to end up with a giant penis, and instead turn out to be something rather more graceful and good looking, kind of like wings or like a flower, not a penis, if possible. So I think we decided earlier that straight on is not very interesting. Like straight on, it looks kind of squat and flat and stumpy, in fact, a little bit. But we decided that on an angle it looks a lot better. Let's just check if that's the same. So I'm talking about when I had this thing, one of these things in dirt, and we looked around it, or we kind of looked at it from different angles on the ground, and we decided that like this is kind of slightly better. Although I'm not sure. Or maybe we really do need the red thing in the middle up there as well. I'm actually not sure about this shape now that I'm looking at it like this. How do you guys feel about that? How do you guys feel about this thing? It's not finished, of course. And that's the thing with a complex shape as well. There's like you don't really know. Although with most things you can't really tell what it's gonna look like until you finish it and step back and look at it. Things seldom turn out exactly the way you imagine them. That's kind of interesting. That particular angle there, we need to sleep to avoid monsters. Alright, let's just sleep. I think it's turned out quite well. I think. I'm the kind of person who's always worried about the next thing that I have to do, so I'm just looking at this, getting worried about the red petals, the upper petals, the ones in the center. But I don't think I'm actually going to do that right away. I know I said that I want to, just want to do this project in one go. But I've actually thought of something else. And that's kind of higher priority, I think. I'm thinking about doing like a proper... Oops. Okay, I can get out. A proper like a Minecraft design school, like a Minecraft architecture school. I don't know if you guys would be interested in that. I know some of you will. So it will be like a first year design course in architecture school, except I should stop walking in the water. It will be like a first year design course in architecture school. Like it, not quite. You won't be qualified to be an architect by the time you finish. But the idea is to introduce some architectural concepts and then to have a go, building those things, or building ideas in Minecraft. So we talk about proportions, or maybe like light and shadow, or like colors, and then we go into Minecraft and we look at those things and we try out different proportions and we try out different colors and stuff like that. So that seems like fun, I think. So, but then I have to kind of prepare course materials for that. So I think I'll do that next, and then I'll come back and finish the central bits afterwards. I don't know if you guys think that's a good idea. I think that's a good idea. I should stop holding the bed. Alright, let's just get rid of the bed. I don't really need to go around the whole way, do I? Because the three sides look pretty much the same from all three sides. You know, yeah, it's again, like it's different. Like we had one petal before, and I remember saying that I don't know about this part because it seems to weigh down too much. But now that I look at it when it's finished, like when it's the whole circle complete down here, and then it kind of forms this bowl, it almost seems light. Like not light and shadow, but light and heavy. It almost seems like it's kind of light. It's kind of like floating above the ground somehow. And having that complete circle makes a difference, whereas before we had like one petal, right? And it seemed to kind of weigh down. I don't know if you guys feel that, or if it's just me. It was just all just in my head, and I'm imagining this, and you guys kind of get a completely different idea. I mean, it'd be interesting to hear what you guys think. Or like, what kind of feelings you get from this shape, or what kind of ideas you get from this shape. No penises. I already see the penis. So if you see anything other than the penis, then leave a comment. Let me just walk down here. Yeah, it is different, isn't it? Like when there was only one petal, I was kind of worried that it seems to weigh down on us too much, and it does a little bit. But I guess with the complete circle, we also see the shape receding, like curving away from us in the distance. So even though it presses down on us here, right where we are, it curves away from us at the edges, and so it doesn't quite, sit on us. Does that make sense? Like it's like it's like a bird. Instead of just coming down and landing, it's kind of coming down and then curving up again. So it's not as heavy. Does that make sense? It's not as heavy. It doesn't feel as heavy. I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys. But that's how architects talk sometimes. Maybe, and that's how artists talk sometimes. I don't know if you guys appreciate that sort of thing. Anyway, the green glass turned out fairly well. So remember we had the glass test where I decided to use the checkerboard in order to get more opacity or less transparency. So if everything was the same color, then everything would be that opacity. So you see how when it doubles up, it's less transparent. And because of the curves and the things, so now we end up with these kind of lines, which is interesting. I wasn't expecting that neither. I don't know why I wasn't expecting that. Now that I think about it, it should be obvious that we end up with these lines because we have less transparent bits where there's more layers of glass, right? And then every time you step up, there's an extra layer of glass there. So then every time, so then you get these lines, as you can see right there. So I wasn't sure why I didn't imagine that, but now that I see it, I think it's okay. It's kind of like veins on a leaf, and this is it's kind of supposed to be a flower, or the idea is like a flower, or a rose, or something. So these kind of like veins in the leaves. It's kind of like that. Wasn't really planning to do that, but that's how it turned out, and I'm pretty happy with that. And the artifacting doesn't seem to be a huge problem because of the glass and because of the way everything's kind of just blurs together anyway with the transparency. With the dirt and the wood before, remember how we saw these, the circles or the squares. We saw the squares in the circles quite clearly, and you can kind of see it a little bit here. How those things, that line there, and then that kind of lines up, and that lines up, but it's only really apparent when you're looking straight up at it. Well, it's looking straight through it. If we step back a bit, I don't think it's actually very clear at all because all the layers of glass makes it less clear. Everything kind of blurs together. So even back here, you can't really tell anymore. Not really, right? So that turned out pretty well too. The glass is like the checkerboarding, and you can't see the checkerboarding neither, like from this distance. it looks like one color. And of course that was the whole point. And when you're when there's a lot of when the shapes are kind of really close together, your eyes and your brains kind of just interpret it as one color. So we don't see the lime and the green, we just see green. At least from that distance. And when you're up close, I don't think it matters that much neither. Again, because of the transparency, because everything layers up. So here you can kind of see, well, there's lime there, then there's dark green there, there's a bit of lime there, a bit of dark green there. You can kind of see it, but I don't think it really matters that much. Like it's not as noticeable as you might think, is what I'm trying to say. So there it is. I mean, I've been staring at this thing and building this thing for like several weeks. How many weeks has it been? Like 2 weeks, I think. So I'm not that surprised by how it turned out because I was building it. Not sure how you guys think. As again, leave any thoughts or ideas you have in the comments if you have any. Yeah. So the next, I don't know how long it's gonna take for my computer to get fixed. But I really want to like do the next thing on the new computer, but I don't want to wait another month. It can't take 2 months to fix a computer, can it? It's taken 3 weeks so far. Yeah, so I don't know, hopefully the next video will be the new computer, but who knows. Lenovo is pretty bad. I hate to say it, but it's taking a long time to repair my computer. I'm just gonna look around. Okay, this looks pretty good too. There's kind of a field of green that kind of just opens up. And then blue sky, so there'll be like a patch of red. We won't see this really. Again, the red petals will be like, I don't know, like that, like it'll kind of curve out and then down, and then join together here, so that there'll be like a giant red shape in front of us, and then like the green curve behind that, and then the blue sky behind that. So it's kind of layering and the primary colors, and I think it's going to turn out well. Also, you can't really see the desert behind it anymore. I mean, you can kind of vaguely see it's lighter up here and darker down there, but it's green. Like I was kind of worried that when you look through the glass, there'd be too much orange and too much blue. I mean, there is a bit of blue, there, and there's a bit of orange there, but the green is okay. Like it's thick enough for you to see it as green and then not the color behind it, which is good. I was slightly worried that it won't be, it'd be too transparent and you can't see it. I don't know what to say about the clouds though. I haven't really thought about the clouds, have I? How the clouds interact with this thing. Maybe I should have. Maybe it's too late. Anyway, so there's clouds here. Yeah, I haven't really thought about how the clouds interact with these shapes. So let's get up here, and then as we go further up, the petals become circular, as we saw last time. So that's not a surprise. I just want to see how it looks with all 3 of them. Also, I don't think we'll be coming up the middle in the finished thing. Again, I haven't figured out the circulation yet. But you'd see that like the red petals are out there. And this staircase, I don't think it's going to be here in the end. I think it's just going to be empty space in the middle. There might be like a platform up in the sky in the middle, like up there. Maybe like the paths will kind of crisscross their way up the petals, and then there'll be like a bridge back into the center, and then there'll be like a platform in the middle, maybe. That's what I'm thinking. It's one of the ideas. So then maybe that. In which case, like what we're doing now won't happen. Maybe there can be a platform at the clouds as well. Or maybe the platform is at the clouds and then there's nothing up here. How do you guys... I thought I saw a bird. No, it's just my eyes playing tricks on me. How would you guys feel about not having platforms? So you can't actually walk up here. So that's the other option, is not to have circulation up here at all. It's just the glass shape is just up here, and then you can't actually get up here. I don't know, I kind of want to come up here. Well, I mean, I never really, I don't spend my time climbing the crystal tower back home anymore. So maybe having a tower, I mean, the idea of a tower is you go up the tower and you can see the terrain from above, and when I get the new computer, I can set the view distance further away so you can see more, right? I mean, that's the point of a tower in a way, but then I don't know. Is it important for you to be able to climb to the top? Glass. Oh, I kind of I overestimated how much glass I'll need, and I knew I would do that because I did the circles times 2, which works on the steeper bits, but when it flattens out, it's not really twice as much of the circle, you know. So I knew I was going to end up with more sand than I needed, which is fine because I need the glass for the other petals as well. The problem was I made all the green dye, so now I have like 18 stacks of green dye that I don't have a use for. I mean, it's all renewable, so I guess I don't really care that much, but what I should have done is left the green dye, or left the cactus, or left some of the cactus, instead of, you know, turning it all into dye straight away, which I didn't really need to do. Alright, let's just get up here, and do I need to sleep? I guess I don't really need to sleep here. So up here is circles, and then there'll be like the red shapes up here. Alright, so I guess I'll end it here. I don't really have much else to talk about. I'm kind of scared of falling off. I don't really have much else to talk about. So from a distance, it looks like there's triangles and circles. Of course, we all know it's all cubes, but from a distance we can pretend that there are curves and angles in Minecraft. Yeah, so don't have too much to say. I feel like I'm not being very critical about what I'm talking about. I'm just kind of rambling a little bit. Although, you know, there's not really much to be critical about, I don't think. If I had to do it again, would I do it differently? That's an interesting question. You know, if I had to do it again, would you do it differently, and why? Because I mean, that's the sort of question you ask to try to improve yourself, right? It's to say, you know, now that I've done that, if you know, how can I make it better? Because, you know, you want to ask these questions so that your next project really is better. You know, you don't want to just do the same thing over and over again. You want to get better and better over time. So the questions you want to ask yourself is, if I have to do this differently, or if I had to do it again, would you do it differently? No, I can't think of. Maybe I should have thought more carefully about the footpaths, because I'm really just gonna leave that to the end, and I know that's a bad idea. Like, that's, if you ask me, I always tell you, don't leave your footpaths until, especially staircases, don't leave your staircases until the end. I've got a few ideas, but I haven't designed any of it, and so there's no guarantee that any of my ideas will work out. They might just kind of fail spectacularly, which is not good. So maybe if I had to do it again, I would spend more time thinking about the circulations. But I mean, it was kind of difficult enough just kind of working out the circles and then triangles. And I didn't really, so that's why I didn't think about the circulation as well when I was designing it. Maybe that's a valid criticism of what I've done. Anyway, I'll stop rambling. And alright, hopefully the next video will be on the new computer, and leave any comments or any thoughts in the comments. And I don't know if I make it obvious, but I do want to try to improve every time. Or, you know, I want to learn new things. I'm interested in learning because, you know, I'm aware that I want to be better. I'm still rambling. So, you know, like, so the comments are useful because you give me a different perspective from what I see, and that's useful for learning, because you want to kind of look at things from a different perspective. Anyway, I'll stop rambling. See you guys in the next video.